Okay, welcome to the Soul Data Access Video 2. This one we're actually going to start talking about writing in SQL. In order to do that, what I want to do is I want to submit a custom request for Soul Tabular Data. Click on that, it opens up the query parameter page. This page is very important. This is where you're going to go and type in your SQL. But before you type in that SQL, you have to know what you're typing in. So I'm going to head back over to the query help page. And on the query help page, remember there are two documents I told you that you have to be familiar with. The first one I want to bring up is the diagram. And when I bring up the diagram, this gives you the basic synopsis of the publication data structure. Starting off with SA catalog, legend, map unit, component, all of its child tables, and then horizon and all of its child tables. Keep in mind that the data structure here is different from NASA's. NASA's is a transactional database. We've collapsed a lot of the tables in order to produce a publication database. And this publication database has key columns that link between the tables. The legend and the map unit is the L key, the map unit and the component is the MU key. All right, first document that you need to be aware of is a diagram document. Second document is this tables and columns report. Tables and column report, will give you the tables that are in the Soul Data Mart and the columns within those particular tables. And it also gives you the data type, which is important for comparison operators. And it also gives you some of the information about the actual column itself and how it's entered into the database. Now, so I have to have these two metadata documents, the diagram, and then I also have to have the tables and columns report in order to provide me the information necessary to write an SQL. We're going to write a very simple SQL. And this SQL is going to pull two columns from one table. And we're going to use the legend table and we're going to pull the area symbol and the area name. So I'm going to return to the query table, the query page. And if you've read any of the information that's already been written on writing queries on Chapter 18 of the NASA's guide, you'll know that there are 3 keywords for all SQL. Once you know these 3, then you're basically set for life. You can be able to write any query. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be selecting the columns from the tables where a condition is met. Those are the 3 things that you have to be aware of. Select the columns from the tables where the condition is met. Well, I told you we're going to use this as a single table query, and I'm going to select the area symbol and the area name, and it really helps to type so that you understand where it is, from the legend table and where the area symbol, like, is your comparison operator, and I'm going to use NE079 just because it's an example we use in the text. So I'm going to select the area symbol and the area name from legend where the area symbol, like, NE079. Once I've typed in my SQL, I have some other parameters that I have to establish. First one, do you want this as an immediate XML? Most likely, 99% of the time, none of you will want it in XML format. XML format is a specific format used for a lot of different database uses. And then you also can choose immediate HTML, which is what 99% of you will use, is immediate HTML. You're limited to the number of records that it can be returned. and the amount of time that it takes to run the SQL. But for the most part, you're going to be running an HTML immediate request. All right, if it's too large of a result to bring back as an immediate, then your other choices are a queued XML you won't be using, or a queued text. If you choose queued text, make sure you click on first row contains your column names, and then your field delimiter is defaulted to a vertical bar, but you can choose the tab or the comma. And your text delimiter is a double quote. You can choose single quotes, or you could choose none at all. And then you have to enter in your email address twice, and the reason why we do that is to make sure that you know what your email address is for this to return the results to. I'm going to return this back to an immediate HTML. I've written my SQL, and now I'm going to run the query. And when I run the query, the results are area symbol NE079 is area name Hall County, Nebraska. That is a very simple, very easy query. But it doesn't give me everything I want. I want a legend, and a legend includes the map unit symbols and the map unit names. So I'm going to refer back to my tables and columns report. I'm going to go down to the map unit table, and I want to see that MUSIM and MUNAME are the columns that I need for map unit symbol and for map unit name. So I'm going to return back over to my query. I'm going to type in MUSIM, MUNAME, and I'm adding a second table. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to say for map unit. Well, that's not everything that you need. There are two things that you have to understand when you add multiple tables. Number one is what kind of join you want, and number two is what are the linkages between the two tables. By default, I'm going to explain joins in a later video, but by default you're going to type in an inner join. This means I want a one-to-one match between the legend and the map unit table, and I want the link on legend.lkey equals mapUnit.lkey. Where did I get this lkey at? Remember that other document that I told you about? That table relationships document is key. You have to understand it. You'll notice that the linkage between the legend and the map unit is the lkey table. The lkey column. Between the map unit and the component is the mu key column. That is the purpose of this particular diagram. So I have my join statement, I have my table, and I have my on clause telling me what the linkages are between the two. Now when I come in here and I run this, I'll continue as an immediate HTML. I now have a legend, and I've got the area symbol, the area name, the map unit symbol, and the map unit name. So I now have information about this. But I don't like this. It is right now by map unit symbol sort. I want to change that sort. So I'm going to come back over to my query, and I'm going to say I want this ordered by. So I'm going to type in order by, and I want it by mu name. And now when I run the query, I now have all this as the first. So it's now sorted alphabetically based off of the map unit name. So in summary, what we've done is we've come to the query parameter webpage. I have showed you that the two documents that you must be familiar with is the table relationship diagram. That's important for you to know, and you pick it up from the help page. The second one is a tables and columns report that identifies what the column names are that you're going to be using in this database. And I showed you that in the legend table we pulled the area symbol and the area name. And then in the map unit table we pulled the map unit symbol and the map unit name. And then we joined these two tables on the lkey column, which is important for you to be able to link those two when you put in multiple tables. So that gives you a basic summary of a very simple query. We'll build on this and continue in the next video. But for now, you have at least now understood the documents you need and the simplicity of creating a basic legend. This ends video number 2.